Stories and Documentary Network. At the heart of Lemurian spirituality lies a cosmology that reflects a deep connection to the universe, the earth, and divine energies. Lemurian cosmology centers around the belief in a unified, interconnected existence, where all beings, human, animal, and elemental, are part of a vast cosmic web of energy. The Lemurians believed in the fundamental oneness of all creation, where every soul is interconnected with the divine source, the ultimate origin of all life. Lemurian cosmology held that the universe was alive with spiritual energy and that the earth itself was a conscious, living being. This concept of earth as a sentient, sacred entity mirrored their understanding of the cosmos as an intricate, purposeful design by the creator or source. They viewed the planet not only as their home but as a living organism with its own consciousness, which they sought to protect and nurture. In this cosmology, the Lemurians understood their role as custodians of the earth, responsible for maintaining harmony and balance between nature and humanity. The Lemurians believed that they were in constant communication with higher realms of existence and spiritual guides, including celestial beings, ancestors, and nature spirits. They viewed these entities as mentors, helping them to align with the divine flow of the universe and elevate their consciousness. Their spiritual practices were designed to maintain this connection, allowing them to evolve spiritually and ascend toward higher planes of existence. The notion of reincarnation was integral to Lemurian beliefs. The Lemurians understood life as a continuous cycle, where souls would reincarnate to learn spiritual lessons and attain higher states of consciousness. This cyclical view of life and death also extended to their understanding of cosmic cycles, such as the rise and fall of civilizations and the changes in planetary energies. They believed that human souls, as well as civilizations, went through stages of growth, decay, and renewal, all in alignment with divine will. One of the most prominent aspects of Lemurian spirituality was their deep connection to nature and Earth's energies. The Lemurians viewed the natural world as sacred, imbued with spiritual power, and teeming with life force. This belief was rooted in the understanding that everything in nature, plants, animals, rocks, rivers, mountains, contained its own consciousness and spiritual essence. Their relationship with nature was symbiotic, where they respected and worked with the forces of nature to maintain balance and well-being for all life on Earth. Central to their spiritual practices was the use of earth energies, which the Lemurians believed could be harnessed to promote healing, spiritual growth, and communication with higher realms. They were masters of working with crystals, which they used as tools to channel Earth's energy and amplify their spiritual abilities. Lemurian crystals, in particular, were believed to be programmed with ancient wisdom and energetic codes, holding the spiritual knowledge of the Lemurian people. These crystals were used for healing, meditation, and connecting with the divine. In addition to crystals, the Lemurians worked with ley lines, which are natural energy pathways that crisscross the Earth. They believed that these ley lines carried the planet's vital energies and could be activated through rituals and spiritual practices. By tapping into these energy grids, the Lemurians were able to access powerful earth energies, which they used for everything from agricultural fertility to spiritual enlightenment. The Lemurians were also attuned to the celestial cycles of the moon, sun, stars, and planets. They believed that these cosmic cycles influenced the Earth's energies and their own spiritual evolution. For example, they aligned their spiritual practices with lunar cycles, using the phases of the moon for different rituals of manifestation, purification, and transformation. The solstices and equinoxes were also important times for them to align with the cosmic rhythms and attune themselves to the greater forces of the universe. The Lemurians' respect for nature extended beyond ritualistic practices. It was a guiding philosophy in their daily lives. They practiced sustainable agriculture, living in harmony with the land and ensuring that their use of resources did not disrupt the balance of the ecosystem. Their technology was also believed to be eco-friendly, powered by natural energies and working in harmony with the Earth's vibrations rather than exploiting them. This deep integration with nature was key to their spiritual worldview, emphasizing a life of balance, stewardship, and harmony. The pursuit of higher consciousness and divine connection was at the core of Lemurian spirituality. The Lemurians believed that each individual had the potential to awaken to higher states of consciousness, which would bring them closer to the divine source and the true nature of reality. This spiritual evolution was seen as a process of shedding the illusions of the material world and reconnecting with the divine essence within. Lemurians cultivated this divine connection through practices that heightened their awareness of subtle energies and expanded their consciousness beyond the physical realm. Meditation was central to this process, enabling them to quiet the mind and attune to higher frequencies. By entering deep states of meditation, the Lemurians could access higher dimensions, communicate with spiritual beings, and receive guidance from the divine. Meditation also allowed them to harmonize their energies with the earth and cosmos, facilitating personal transformation and collective spiritual growth. Telepathy was another key spiritual practice in Lemuria, and it was said that Lemurians could communicate with each other without the need for verbal language. This telepathic ability was seen as an expression of their deep interconnectedness and their ability to access higher levels of consciousness. Telepathic communication allowed them to share knowledge, feelings, and spiritual insights instantly, creating a society that was unified in thought and purpose. The Lemurians believed that each person carried a spark of divine light within them, and their spiritual practices were designed to help individuals reconnect with this inner light. This divine spark was the key to their ascension process, as it represented their true spiritual essence and their connection to the source. By cultivating their inner light through meditation, energy healing, and spiritual practices, Lemurians sought to raise their vibrational frequency and ascend to higher planes of existence. The concept of higher consciousness in Lemurian spirituality was closely tied to the idea of ascension, the process by which individuals evolved beyond the limitations of the physical body and entered into higher realms of spiritual existence. Ascension was seen as the ultimate goal of the Lemurian spiritual path, where the soul would transcend the cycle of reincarnation and merge with the divine source. This process of ascension was not just an individual journey but a collective one, with the entire civilization of Lemuria striving for spiritual enlightenment and the realization of their divine potential. Lemurian spirituality also emphasized the role of divine guides, spiritual beings, and ascended masters who assisted them on their journey toward higher consciousness. These beings were believed to reside in higher dimensions, offering wisdom, healing, and protection to the Lemurians. By maintaining a strong connection with these divine guides, the Lemurians were able to receive spiritual knowledge and insights that helped them navigate their earthly lives and continue their path of ascension. One of the defining aspects of Lemurian civilization was its profound harmony with nature and the ecosystem. Unlike many modern societies that prioritize industrial growth and exploitation of natural resources, the Lemurians believed that living in alignment with nature was essential for their physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Their way of life was deeply intertwined with the earth, and they regarded the planet as a living, sentient being that provided for all their needs. Lemurians practiced sustainable agriculture, growing food in ways that nurtured the land rather than depleting it. They understood the importance of soil health, water conservation, and biodiversity, integrating these principles into their farming methods. They utilized natural cycles, such as the phases of the moon and seasonal changes, to guide their agricultural practices. This respect for natural rhythms ensured that they worked with nature, not against it, creating an abundance of food without causing harm to the environment. The Lemurians were also believed to be highly attuned to Earth's energy grids and ley lines, natural energy pathways that crisscross the planet. They consciously built their cities and spiritual centers on these energy points to harness the Earth's energies, creating harmonious environments that supported their spiritual practices and well-being. By living in sync with these energy flows, the Lemurians were able to maintain a balanced and peaceful society. Their homes and buildings were constructed using natural materials such as stone, wood, and clay, with designs that blended seamlessly into the surrounding environment. Architecture was aligned with sacred geometry, and buildings were often circular or organic in shape, reflecting the Lemurians' understanding of the interconnectedness of life. These structures were designed not only for practical purposes but also as conduits for spiritual energy, creating spaces that were energetically aligned with the earth and the cosmos. In their daily lives, Lemurians practiced rituals of gratitude and respect for the natural world. They saw themselves as stewards of the earth, and every aspect of their life was guided by a sense of responsibility to protect and nurture the planet. They revered animals, plants, and the elements, recognizing them as fellow beings with their own spiritual essence. This respect for nature was reflected in their spiritual practices, which often involved invoking the energies of the four elements, earth, air, fire, and water, and honoring the cycles of the moon, sun, and stars. Lemurian society was based on principles of communal living and egalitarianism. In contrast to hierarchical structures seen in many modern societies, Lemuria was a society where all individuals were considered equal, and each person contributed to the community based on their unique gifts and talents. This created a highly cooperative and harmonious social structure, where competition and individualism were replaced by collaboration and mutual support. The concept of personal ownership was minimal in Lemurian society. Resources were shared among the community, and there was a collective understanding that everyone's well-being was interconnected. The focus was on the common good rather than individual wealth or status, and this fostered a strong sense of unity and belonging among the Lemurian people. Community decisions were made through consensus, with each person's voice being valued and heard. There was no need for leaders in the traditional sense because all members of society were considered spiritually advanced and capable of guiding their own lives in alignment with the greater good. Social structures in Lemuria were also built around the extended family, where families lived together in close-knit communities, often in large homes that accommodated multiple generations. Elders were highly respected for their wisdom and spiritual knowledge, and they played an important role in teaching younger generations about the ways of life, spiritual practices, and connection to the earth. There was a deep respect for all stages of life, from birth to death, and the Lemurians believed that each phase of life offered valuable spiritual lessons. Education in Lemuria was not focused on intellectual achievement or academic learning as it is today. Instead, children were taught to develop their spiritual, emotional, and intuitive abilities from an early age. They learned how to communicate with nature, harness energy for healing, and cultivate a deep connection to their own inner wisdom. Spiritual development was seen as the primary purpose of life, and every individual was encouraged to follow their own unique path of growth and enlightenment. Communal rituals and celebrations played a central role in Lemurian society. These gatherings were opportunities for the community to come together, celebrate the earth, and honor the cycles of nature. Rituals often took place in sacred groves or temples and involved music, dance, and meditation. These collective spiritual practices helped to reinforce the strong sense of unity and connection that characterized Lemurian society. One of the most important spiritual tools used by the Lemurians was crystals. Crystals were considered powerful conduits for Earth's energies, and they were used for healing, meditation, communication, and energy amplification. Lemurian crystals, in particular, are said to have been encoded with the wisdom and spiritual knowledge of the Lemurian civilization. These crystals were used to store information, much like a modern-day computer, and could be accessed during meditation to gain insights into the higher realms of consciousness. Lemurian crystal technology extended to the creation of energy grids, which were networks of crystals strategically placed throughout the land to channel and amplify Earth's natural energy. These energy grids were believed to protect the land, enhance the flow of energy, and maintain balance and harmony in the environment. The Lemurians used these grids to enhance their spiritual practices and to create spaces that were energetically aligned with higher vibrational frequencies. In addition to crystal technology, the Lemurians were believed to have mastered the use of sound and vibration as powerful tools for healing and spiritual development. They understood that everything in the universe vibrates at its own unique frequency and that sound could be used to shift energy, heal the body, and elevate consciousness. Sound healing was an integral part of their spiritual practices, and the Lemurians used chanting, singing bowls, and other sacred instruments to harmonize their energy fields and connect with the divine. Energy systems in Lemuria were also based on the understanding of prana or life force energy. The Lemurians were adept at harnessing this energy, using it to power their spiritual tools, heal their bodies, and maintain a high vibrational state. They understood the importance of maintaining a balanced flow of prana through their physical and spiritual bodies, and they practiced techniques such as breathwork, yoga, and energy healing to keep their energy centers open and flowing. Lemurian technologies were not only practical tools for everyday life but also gateways to higher consciousness. By working with earth energies, sound, vibration, and crystals, the Lemurians were able to maintain a deep connection to the spiritual realms, access higher wisdom, and continue their path of ascension. These spiritual technologies offered a sustainable and harmonious way of living that was in balance with nature and aligned with the universal flow of energy. At the core of Lemurian spirituality were practices that enhanced individual and collective consciousness. Meditation, telepathy, and energetic healing were the primary methods by which Lemurians cultivated their spiritual connection, elevated their consciousness, and maintained harmony within their community and environment. Meditation was a central practice in Lemurian life, used not only for relaxation or mindfulness but as a tool to access higher dimensions of consciousness. The Lemurians believed that through deep meditation, they could communicate with the divine source, celestial beings, and other higher dimensional entities. Meditation allowed them to quiet the mind, connect with subtle energy fields, and expand their awareness beyond the physical realm. They believed that meditation could reveal the spiritual truths of the universe and deepen their understanding of their place within it. In meditation, Lemurians often focused on aligning their chakras, energy centers within the body, allowing the free flow of life force energy, prana. They practiced breath control and visualization techniques to help move energy through their bodies, purifying their energy fields and enhancing their spiritual development. This practice of energetic alignment was essential for maintaining balance and well-being, both individually and collectively. Telepathy was another important aspect of Lemurian spiritual practice. It is said that Lemurians had advanced telepathic abilities, which allowed them to communicate with one another without the need for spoken language. Telepathy reflected their deep interconnectedness and their ability to perceive and transmit thought, emotion, and spiritual insight across space and time. This form of communication transcended the limitations of physical speech, enabling them to share knowledge, experiences, and spiritual revelations instantly. Telepathic communication was also a tool for connecting with other realms of existence. The Lemurians were able to receive guidance from higher spiritual beings, ancestors, and even the natural world through telepathic communication. This ability to tune into the thoughts and energies of others fostered a profound sense of unity and trust within the community, allowing for more fluid and harmonious interactions in both daily life and spiritual practice. Energetic healing was another vital spiritual practice for the Lemurians. They understood that the physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies were interconnected and that illness or imbalance in one area could affect the entire system. The Lemurians developed healing techniques that focused on restoring the flow of energy, prana, within the body, using a combination of hands-on healing, crystal therapy, and sound vibrations. Their healers were able to sense and manipulate energy fields, clearing blockages and restoring balance to the individual. Energetic healing was not limited to individuals. The Lemurians also practiced communal healing, where entire communities participated in rituals to harmonize the collective energy. These rituals often involved chanting, meditation, and the use of crystals to amplify the healing energy. The Lemurians believed that healing was a spiritual process that involved not only the physical body but also the mind and spirit, and they approached it with a holistic understanding of health and well-being. The Lemurians were known for their advanced understanding of the Earth's energies and their ability to harness these energies through the use of crystals, energy grids, and ley lines. These tools and systems were integral to their spiritual practices, serving as conduits for both personal and planetary healing and transformation. Crystals were of particular importance to the Lemurians, who believed that crystals held the ability to store and transmit energy and information. Lemurian crystals, in particular, were believed to carry the ancient wisdom of their civilization. These crystals were used in meditation, healing, and communication with higher realms. Each crystal was thought to resonate at a specific frequency, and the Lemurians worked with different types of crystals depending on their spiritual or healing needs. For example, Quartz crystals were commonly used for amplifying energy and enhancing spiritual clarity, while other crystals, such as amethyst or selenite, were used for protection and purification. Crystals also played a key role in the creation of energy grids, networks of stones and crystals placed in specific geometric patterns to amplify and direct energy. These grids were often aligned with sacred geometric principles and were used to enhance the flow of energy in specific areas, whether for personal healing, spiritual development, or environmental harmony. Lemurian energy grids were believed to be capable of influencing the energy of large areas, creating spaces that resonated with high vibrational frequencies conducive to spiritual growth. In addition to working with crystals, the Lemurians were highly attuned to the Earth's natural energy pathways, known as ley lines. These ley lines are believed to be invisible energy currents that crisscross the planet, connecting sacred sites and power spots. The Lemurians had an advanced understanding of how to work with these ley lines, using them to channel Earth's energies for spiritual and healing purposes. They built their sacred temples, homes, and spiritual centers along these ley lines, where the Earth's energy was most potent. By aligning their structures with these energy pathways, they were able to harness the Earth's energy for their spiritual practices and ensure that their civilization remained in harmony with the natural world. These energy lines were seen as conduits for cosmic energy as well, linking the Earth to the stars and other celestial bodies, allowing the Lemurians to tap into universal knowledge and divine guidance. The Lemurian civilization is said to have established numerous sacred sites across their land, many of which were believed to serve as portals to higher realms, places of healing, and centers for spiritual initiation. These sacred sites were often located in areas of high energy, such as on ley lines or near natural power sources like mountains, rivers, and forests. They were used for a variety of spiritual purposes, ranging from individual meditation and healing to large communal rituals and ceremonies. One of the primary purposes of these sacred sites was to act as portals to higher dimensions. The Lemurians believed that these sites were gateways through which they could connect with higher spiritual beings, including ascended masters, celestial guides, and their own ancestors. By meditating or performing rituals at these sites, they could receive divine messages, guidance, and healing from these higher realms. These portals were also believed to facilitate the process of spiritual ascension, helping individuals raise their vibrational frequency and move closer to the divine source. Many of these sacred sites were built using sacred geometry, which the Lemurians believed held the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe. Sacred geometric shapes such as circles, spirals, and pyramids were thought to resonate with universal energies, allowing the Lemurians to tap into the deeper cosmic laws that governed their world. Temples and other spiritual structures were often built in alignment with these principles, creating spaces that were energetically balanced and conducive to spiritual awakening. These sacred sites were also places of healing, where the Lemurians could go to restore balance to their physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies. Healers would often work at these sites, using the natural energy of the land in combination with crystals and sound to facilitate deep healing processes. It was believed that the energy at these sacred sites could cleanse the body and soul, releasing negative energy and restoring harmony. Some of the sacred sites in Lemuria were also used as initiation centers for those seeking spiritual enlightenment or ascension. These initiations were often led by spiritual elders or priests, who guided individuals through a series of rites designed to awaken their inner spiritual power and raise their consciousness to higher levels. These initiation rituals were often intense and transformative, allowing individuals to transcend their limited physical awareness and access their true divine potential. The Lemurian philosophy of enlightenment is rooted in the understanding of ascension, a transformative process that involves elevating one's consciousness to higher states of being. This journey toward ascension is characterized by a series of spiritual practices and realizations aimed at aligning the individual with the divine source and accessing higher dimensions of existence. At the heart of Lemurian ascension is the belief that every individual possesses the innate ability to transcend the limitations of the physical realm and achieve a state of higher consciousness. This process involves self-discovery, inner work, and the release of old patterns, beliefs, and attachments that no longer serve one's spiritual growth. Lemurians viewed ascension as a gradual journey rather than an instantaneous event, emphasizing the importance of patience, dedication, and consistent practice. Central to this path is meditation, which Lemurians regarded as a powerful tool for expanding awareness and connecting with the higher self. Through regular meditation, practitioners could quiet their minds, attune to the frequencies of higher consciousness, and access profound insights about their true nature and purpose. Meditation served as a means to dissolve the ego and allow individuals to experience their connection to the universal consciousness. The Lemurian philosophy also recognized the significance of service to others as a pathway to ascension. By living in harmony with others and contributing to the well-being of the community, individuals could raise their own vibrations while fostering a collective spiritual evolution. Acts of kindness, compassion, and selflessness were seen as essential practices on the path to enlightenment, reinforcing the interconnectedness of all beings. Furthermore, the Lemurian understanding of ascension includes the concept of energetic alignment with the earth and the cosmos. Practitioners believed that by harmonizing their energies with the natural world and celestial forces, they could facilitate their ascension process. This alignment involved working with crystals, engaging in nature-based rituals, and tapping into the Earth's energy grids, which were thought to support spiritual growth and elevate consciousness. In essence, the Lemurian path to ascension is characterized by self-awareness, meditation, service, and energetic alignment, guiding individuals toward a deeper understanding of their true selves and their connection to the universe. The Lemurians believed that each soul embarks on a journey through multiple lifetimes, experiencing different forms and lessons in order to evolve spiritually. This cycle of reincarnation allows individuals to learn, grow, and ultimately realize their divine nature. The experiences and lessons accumulated over various lifetimes contribute to the soul's evolution and understanding of higher truths. Reincarnation, in the Lemurian context, is not merely a repetitive cycle but a progressive journey toward enlightenment. Each incarnation offers opportunities for growth, healing, and mastery of spiritual lessons. The Lemurians viewed life as a classroom, where souls were given the chance to explore different aspects of existence, face challenges, and develop virtues such as love, compassion, and wisdom. Lemurian teachings also emphasize the idea of karmic balance, where the actions and choices made in one lifetime influence future incarnations. This belief underscores the importance of conscious living and personal responsibility, encouraging individuals to act with integrity and mindfulness. By cultivating positive actions and intentions, individuals could create a more favorable karmic path for their future lives. The Lemurians believed that through the process of reincarnation, souls could reconnect with their spiritual lineage and learn from past experiences. This connection to ancestral wisdom is considered vital for spiritual growth, allowing individuals to access insights from previous lifetimes and integrate those lessons into their current journey. The eternal light is seen as both the source of individual souls and the collective consciousness of humanity. By connecting with this light through meditation, healing practices, and spiritual rituals, Lemurians believed they could access profound wisdom, guidance, and clarity. This connection to the eternal light was central to their understanding of enlightenment and ascension, as it allowed individuals to experience their divine nature and recognize their oneness with all creation. Lemurian teachings emphasize the importance of spiritual legacy, the transmission of wisdom, values, and practices from one generation to the next. The Lemurians recognized that their spiritual knowledge was not only relevant to their time but held timeless truths that could benefit future generations. They believed it was essential to preserve and pass on this knowledge to ensure the continued evolution of consciousness and the healing of the planet. This legacy is reflected in contemporary spiritual movements that draw inspiration from Lemurian teachings. Practices such as crystal healing, meditation, and energy work resonate with the core principles of the Lemurian philosophy, fostering a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all beings. By embracing and integrating these teachings, modern practitioners continue to honor and expand upon the spiritual legacy of Lemuria. This ancient civilization, often shrouded in mystery, has left behind a spiritual heritage that resonates with the principles of harmony, sustainability, and higher consciousness. The teachings and practices attributed to Lemuria inspire individuals to cultivate a deeper understanding of their purpose and connection to the universe, encouraging a return to a more balanced and conscious way of life.